South Africa's precursor to the Square Kilometer Array has unlocked the secret of boomerang-shaped galaxies. Dr. Brad Tucker and I discuss on this Talkin Science Story of the Week.
Across Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts and YouTube, this is Talking Science with Dr. Brad Tucker and Matt Miller.
Alrighty, Brad, let's dive into the stories of the week. And the first one up, I love the title that I've given today's show. It's The Black Hole's Fault. It turns out a black hole is responsible for some pretty funky shapes in the night sky.
What isn't it the black hole's fault? That's what I really wonder. Yeah, this is kind of cool because, the Boomerang galaxy, or a galaxy that kind of looked like the Boomerang, because there is a Boomerang Nebula, it's been a source of always is interest. It has a funny shape. There's been a lot of study into how galaxies collide and merge. Well, this one has always just been slightly different. Everyone kind of knew at least, there was a supermassive black hole at the center. The question was it black holes colliding? Was it the black hole doing something funny? Some people thought it might have been like the black hole spitting and like shooting water out like a hose that you've just turned on and let it go, and it's just spraying all around the yard. But using this, as you said, this new sensitive radio telescope in South Africa, they're able to pinpoint it's kind of actually just gas being shot out of the black hole, falling back down and bouncing off. So it really is just kind of normal activity of a black hole, but it's just happening in a fairly unique way.
It is very cool. It's forming an X, and this galaxy is technically known as PKS 2014-55.
That's right. It doesn't always have the illustrious name that it sometimes does, but that aside, it really does have this interesting feature. And so, black holes, as we've talked about, black holes spin as stars and gas are pulled into the black hole. Some of it kind of bounces off and is shot in these big jets. And so usually you have, a jet coming out the North Pole and the South Pole. And this is the case here, but as the gas goes out into space, a bit of the gravity and the pressure swirls it around, so the gas kind of starts to curve and come back down, falls to the black hole, and then kind of bounces off the area. So you get this really interesting shape that genuinely, or at least we haven't so far, seen it in other galaxies, at least at the current activity.
And this galaxy is 800 million light years away. So to see something that distant in some great detail, you're going to need a big telescope. And the way that we're sort of moving with radio astronomy is the Square Kilometer Array. There's one going to be built or being built in Western Australia. But the precursor to it, the MeerKAT radio telescope in South Africa, was crucial to this finding.
That's right. The whole point of these new big radio telescopes is, you can't build a big single dish a kilometer by a kilometer, but
well, you could if you tried.
I guess I know we're a little bit short-sighted. I apologize. No, by having so many little dishes, you get very good resolution. So it's not just about boosting the power, but the sensitivity, the resolution, how well you can see detail. And so in order to see something like this, you need to see the structure and the detail up close near the center of the galaxy, far away, and all between. And it's kind of like measuring wind or air, right? It's kind of like tracking the velocity and the flows of the gas, just as we track the flows of wind speeds or current in the water, kind of doing this with now a different big galaxy.
And the big critical point for radio astronomy is radio quiet. So this is where areas like South Africa and remote Western Australia are perfect sites for these big arrays of dishes.
Yeah, they don't like yahoos on their Wi-Fi talking about podcasts and stuff like that, or having your mobile phones. No, and that's the funny part is, you have to go to these just as, big optical telescopes don't like people around. Astronomers, I guess, just don't like people around. There's a theme here, but, you don't like your lights on. A radio antenna or a mobile phone turned on your radio telescope, it's like turning on a huge bright spotlight near a normal telescope. So you want to be far away from all that infrastructure. And then it's not even just the obvious things. It's things like microwaves, things that emit some low frequency radiation, and not radiation in the sense of mutating you, but electromagnetic radiation, light, can really cause interference at a very sensitive level. And I think we've mentioned this before, the one in Western Australia picked up radio signals from LA because they had bounced off the moon and bounced back to Western Australia. I mean, that's how sensitive we're talking about that. Even LA is it's not far enough.
And LA's too loud.
Yeah, LA's always too loud. That's a different story.
And don't forget to find Brad all over social media, on Facebook, Dr. Brad Tucker, on Twitter @btucker22. Find Trekzone all over social media as well. Just search for Trekzone. We're there on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and YouTube as well. Podcasting for when you're on the go as well, and you can't watch our YouTube show. We are podcasting in your favourite podcasting app. Just search for Trekzone. You'll find us. Subscribe, leave a review, and you'll get the latest episodes downloaded straight to your device. Thanks for watching and listening to this Talkin Science Story of the Week.